What is up, YouTube? It's that whatchamacallit barber here. And today, as the title of the video says, do not buy an exposed blade, exposed razor blade handle until you watch this video, because I'm going to show you guys a little tip on how to have the best of both worlds and save you some money at the same time. So today I'm going to be using my wooden razor handle. I got this, if you guys are curious, I got this on eBay out of the UK, very cheap actually. It's only about $12, but it's really good quality. I just don't know if they have better quality razors over there or what the deal is. But if you guys can see this nice wood finish to this handle, it comes with a little leather case, and if you actually choose to keep it in the case and carry it that way, it actually preserves the smell of this wood nicely. It has a really good nice smell to the wood. I don't keep it in there anymore, so the smell is kind of gone, but if you choose to do that, it's really nice. Another thing I like about it, has the adjustable pivot screw here. You can see that. You can adjust it tight or loose if you want it, so the handle just doesn't swing as freely. Some people like it, some people don't. It also has a nice weight to the handle, if you can see it. And nowadays, you'll see a lot of these butterfly style razors, and the problem I've seen with some of them, because I've picked up a few and handled a couple of them, the metal is cheap. I'm not gonna lie to you. The material of the metal is cheap. Now with this one, on the other hand, it's a lot different. It's really thick, nice and heavy, and that's what I prefer, is a nice heavy handle, because what I like is I like the weight of this to glide over the skin and take the hair off effortlessly, where I don't have to apply pressure and run the risk of cutting the client or irritating their skin to the point where there's a lot of redness, or it causes razor bumps, which is one cause of razor bumps, is cutting the hair underneath the skin. So another reason why I love this particular handle, I wish I could, if I can find the link, I'll put a link to it in the description below if I can find it. But let's get into the video. So you're gonna slide up the little lock that holds the two butterflies in place, as you can see. And I'm gonna use this Dorco blade here. Now, traditionally, what'll happen is, as you can see, I'm going to load this right in front of you so you guys can see this. Those two indentions there slide right onto these prongs, as you can see. Slide right onto the prongs, and then you're going to slide this right on top and lock that in place. Now, boom. Now, as you can see, this is where a lot of barbers have the problem. The blade is barely exposed. And I'm going to take this blade away from the screen so you guys can see. Now, from a distance, you may not even know there's a blade in there. Now, as you can see, the light's catching it at the right angle where you can see the blade kind of shimmer in the light. But for the most part, it's really hard to see that blade is there. Now, a lot of problems barbers have the problem, and what they don't like about it is that if you're trying to use the point of this razor is hard, or even just shaving for that matter, especially if you're doing face or head shaves. A lot of barbers don't like it because you can't see the blade and you can't see what you're cutting. So, and what'll happen is you'll just run the blade over their skin or maybe a bump, and you won't even know you cut them until you see blood. And I've been using this for so long, and this is actually what I started on. I'm comfortable with it, so I don't have a problem, and I don't have the need to use an exposed blade. So for me, it goes either way for me. But today I'm going to give you guys this tip to help you guys. But as you can see, this is the fear a lot of barbers have. And I'm not going to lie, it can be tricky, especially if you're trying to use the heel of this blade. It can be tricky, especially if you don't know how with this exposed blade, because you got to get right on the skin and angle it at the right way where you don't cut a client. And that can be very, very tricky. And I'm also going to give you guys a little tip at the end of this video as well, on top of what I just showed you. So how to make this exposed, here's the little trick. Okay, so you can see here, you have the prongs. Now what I'm going to do is, instead of See if I can get this to focus. So instead of sliding this in traditionally, where it just sits right on there like that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide the prongs over just like that, where these sit right on top of those prongs. And what I'm going to do is, got to make sure that's sitting right there. And I'm just going to slide this on top just like that. I'm going to lock this in. Boom. And now you can see you have an exposed blade just like that. You see how it's exposed? You see the difference between prior and this. Now, the only thing is, and what some people may not like, is that the razor or the blade is further down. It's not towards the head of the blade is not towards the end of this handle, which that can, if you have that personal preference, okay, that's cool. It is what it is. But I'm here to tell you, you can still get away with using the head and the heel. I'm gonna see if I can actually show you guys this here in the video. I don't even know if I can pick this up. No, I won't even pick it up, but just trust me on that. You can still use the point and the heel of this blade just like you can if it were traditionally like an exposed razor that you actually buy, whereas more so on, let me see if it focus, more so if it was on the end right here. But very helpful tip for you guys. If this guys helps you guys, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe, follow me on Instagram. And one other little tip before you guys go, all you barbers out there, especially for the barbers that do a lot of face shaves and head shaves where you're cutting through coarse hair and you have that problem where the blade might dull out on you. This little tip is for you guys. So whenever that happens, if you have a client where, let's say he wants to do his head and face, or even just his head or face for that matter, but he has very coarse hair and the blade dulls out on you midway, and you end up throwing this blade out and picking up the second half of your blade, what you need to do is, instead of throwing this out and getting another blade and using basically the double-sided blade in its entirety, flip this blade over on the other side, because these blades, I don't know if you can see, let me see if this will focus where you guys can see this. Will it focus? It's not going to focus, but what happens is, see if this can focus, it won't focus. But what happens is this blade has a double edge coating on both sides. So when one side of this razor is dull, the other side isn't. So basically you have two sides to this blade. So essentially you have to take advantage of that. Not a lot of barbers know that you can take advantage of using both sides of a blade. And the thing is, another thing for you rookie barbers out there, people who have never done this, make sure you break these in the paper. Don't take it out. Don't take these blades out and try and break it outside of the paper, because you're going to run the risk of cutting yourself and going to the hospital. Trust me, I've cut myself doing all types of things playing with these razors. You got to respect the razor because this thing is extra sharp, and you just break it in half just like that. This one's still in here. I haven't used this one, these feather blades, and these feather blades are extra sharp. I guarantee you that. But this is how it comes in the package, unbroken, double-sided razor. And they make it like this for the safety razors. So if you guys have any safety razors or guys who use safety razors, you know what I'm talking about. But if not, this is what it looks like, and you just snap it in half and you use it in your razor. But that's it. I'm going to get out of here. Give me a like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. Link will be in the description below. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm going to get out of here. It's that whatchamacallit barber signing out. I will holla.